thank you for being here. I was just on Instagram letting them know to hop over here. So I'm just fired up today. Actually, I have been fired up this whole week. I have been getting a lot of questions and concerns, and I don't know what to say, like intense emails. So that's why I decided to hop on live and just give myself to you guys. So if you're live, if you're here, if you can hear me, please make sure to give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts, let me know that you're on, to make sure that you guys can hear me on the other side, and that I'm not muted and so forth. So at any point, I'm not sure if you are and are posting questions. If you are posting questions, let me know where are you from, how we connected, if we connected here on Facebook, if you're coming from Instagram, and what sparked your interest in coaching. That's why you're here, to hear a little bit more about it. And today is a lot of information, but I want to break it down into little chunks for the next few days, just to give you a little bite of what is it all about. And my call to action for you guys is to feel free to go in the comment sections and leave me your comments, leave me your concerns, leave me your questions, to make sure that if I had not covered them, I can go afterwards and reply to you guys. And by all means, somebody else have the same questions, they can find the answers. But most importantly, I want to get to know you, so make sure that you're telling me where you're from, how we connected. Oh, thank you who sent me the thumbs up. At least I know that somebody on the other side is hearing me. Since I'm not, oh, hey Daniela, nice to see you here. So guys, like I said, I'm on fire up to just get started. And today I want to share with you a little bit about myself, a little bit about how is it that I started this whole venture about being a coach, and my lifestyle and so forth. But before I begin, I want to give you a heads up. You know, I have 2 furry kids and they're all over the house. So don't be surprised if they come and they just rub the camera. They love to just show up and photobomb the camera. So if you see something big that covers the whole camera, is one of my doggies, okay? So just to let you know, this is my home. Welcome to my home. And I'm keeping it real because this is what this business is all about, which I love, that you can do it from anywhere. Relax in your home and show the world your real you, your life, the reality. And this is me, this is my home. Actually, this is one of my favorite spots right here. I'm sitting on the floor. I love this chair because I get to enjoy my view on the other side, which is my lake, and I'm sharing that with you tonight. So before I get started, let me introduce myself. My name is Carmen Mercado, also known by Fit Journey by Carmen, and I'm a furry mom, I'm a wife, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm all over the place. I'm a very motivated, independent, driven person, and that has been me all my life. I remember when I was going to school and my mom would give me, I don't know, $1 or $2 for me to go to lunch or do something. I would save that money to invest it on something. This crazy me, I don't know what, I just saved the money. I wouldn't eat anything aside from what I was given in school, and I would save it for me to invest it in something. So now that I look back, I had that desire and that entrepreneurship within me since I was little. I just didn't know it. And as I was growing up, I have 2 brothers. I'm the only female and I'm the youngest, okay? And I always wanted a career that I would compete with men. I wanted to study something that it was I guess, dominated by men. I wanted to get into that field to show the world that us women, we have a voice and we could do more than just be stay-at-home moms or just stay-at-home wives. So as you might know my story, I had to raise myself and go through college and everything on my own. And I did it. I went to school full-time, I went through, I worked full-time, and I pushed through and I hustled. So here's the thing, in 2012, after, you know, going through all that hustle and bundle, I had already gone through a divorce. And in 2012, I found myself battling with rashes that I was dealing with for an entire year, and I was hopping from doctor to doctor, from test to test, and nobody could find the reason why I was going through all these rashes and all these issues. So I got to the point that I was really desperate. I was looking for a solution into turning my health around. Okay. At the same time, I had already walked away from my career. I had taken 6 months off. I have my background, if I forgot to mention that my background is in architecture and engineer, and I have landed the perfect job opportunity exactly where I wanted. I was running big projects, but in reality, the projects were running me. I was working from 6 in the morning to 6 in the afternoon, and by the time it was time for me to go to bed, my husband was arriving home. So we really didn't have a relationship because we would only say hi and bye at nighttime and maybe in the morning. So I found myself in a cage. I love to call it, I built myself a golden cage. I had gotten the career that I wanted. I had landed the position that I wanted. I was making the big money, but I had lost myself. I had lost my freedom, and I was a little confused. I was questioning if that was going to be my entire life, that I wasn't going to have a life. I was questioning really if my ambition was worth it, if I have landed and I was driven and I have achieved was really what I wanted to see and envision for myself 10 years down the road. So I started questioning, and I guess I put it out there to the universe, and I decided to take some time off. So I had enough savings on my own that I could take time off, and I took 6 months off, and I stayed home. And I remember it was a period of growth. It was a period that I wanted to find out who I was. It was a period that I decided to slow down, because I have been hustling and bungling since I was 17 in order to survive, in order to achieve what I wanted, in order to land and be the person that I wanted to become, that I had my goals, that I had envisioned. And when I met my husband and I took that time off, it was the first time in my life that I really discovered what was comfort, what was to just not being in a rush, to slow down and to live life at a different pace. So I decided, in my background, in architecture, and I decided to decorate and redo this entire house. So every day I would just get on a ladder and work in this house, but my mind was working and thinking and analyzing what was it that I wanted to do with my life after this period. And I wanted to know why was it that I wasn't happy about certain things, or what was it that I would react or behave or feel in a certain way. And there were things that I didn't like about myself. There were things that I said, you know what, it's time to change. It's time to reinvent yourself. It's time to become like she saw yourself, you know, to become more, what's the word? I wanted to become, in my 40s, a very educated, I was already educated, but more sophisticated, that's the word. I wanted to become a more sophisticated, and I really wanted to leave something in this world. I wanted to share something, but I didn't know what it was. So guess what? After the time frame, I started looking again into my career, because that's, you know, what we are taught. You go, you get your career, and you go and you work hard. There's my doggy. So guess what? I couldn't find anything locally. If I wanted to hop back on my career, I needed to travel. I needed to hop on a plane every weekend and leave town, work and come back, and have really like a long distance relation with my husband. And at that moment, my entire priorities have changed. They had shifted, like something in me had shifted. And I really didn't want to have that type of life. So I kept declining and declining and declining, and extending my time at home. And that's when one day my husband says, you know what, he has his business, he was running it along, he was working long hours. So he said, why don't you join me for a short term? And I remember he said that like 10 times, a short term, until you find your own business locally, because you have your career, I don't want you to walk away from that. So I said, fine. And I show up to work with him, and I had never forgotten this. The first day that I show up, he had a chair, he had a desk, and he said to me, these are the phone leads, these are the quotes, this is what you need to call for, and bye. And that was all the training that he ever gave me. And I remember saying to myself, okay, I guess I would need to figure this out if I want to make this work. Because at the end of the day, he expects me to have done all this. And guess what? I had no background, I had no experience. I mean, I'm talking about my field is architecture, engineering. I was running like multi-million projects and everything related to architecture and construction, and all of a sudden I'm here in this office with car parts. I needed to quote car parts. I needed to quote something that I have no idea what a car was about, and what do you dress it with. Guess what? That was day one. By day 5, I was a master. And I'm saying this very proudly because I remember one of the vendors saying to me, if your husband doesn't want to continue working with you, I would hire you on the spot. Because I had never met someone that had learned about cars so quickly and knows her craft. And that was, guys, I'm saying that because I made a decision on that day that I was gonna figure things out. And that is the whole deal of the story about why I became a coach and why I decided to, you know, be on my own business and start my own business, not knowing anything, but I wanted to figure this out. I wanted to get into a new venture, okay? So to make a short story, within the first year, I had restructured my husband's business and now I grew it 3 times what it was. So here we are 12 months later with this monster of a business. We were working 12 plus hours And I'm not lying, we were working even weekends. But it was a family business. Here we are together, the doggies are with us. So, you know, you feel fine. You're like, we're together, we are enjoying the time together, there's no rush. But deep inside of me, I wanted more. I wasn't fulfilled because that wasn't what my heart wanted. That wasn't what I have come to this world. I didn't know that, but deep inside, I was not happy. I doubted, why did I go to school for, and all of a sudden I'm here doing total different business. But I kept asking God for something different. So I was brainstorming. I wanted to open my business, but I didn't want to invest the amount of money that a business required. I was thinking of a spa, I was thinking of a gym. I just didn't want to find another golden cage. That's why I thought about it and I walked away from it, because I was already twice in a golden cage. We had bought a weekend home to get away on weekends and relax and distress, but at the end of the day, I wasn't fulfilled. That wasn't what was filling my heart. So one day, I think it was midnight or 1 in the morning, I see a P90X infomercial. I swear to you, I saw this infomercial and I was like drawn by it. I was like, this is me. I like that challenge. I want that challenge. I need to order that program. That looks awesome. That looks like something that is gonna drive me to get my heart into something. So I think a few days later, I saw who's my coach posted what you see me post all the time, an invitation for a challenge group. And I got curious, and I had decided to do something. I was already determined. I said, this is what I'm gonna do. My health is crashing. I cannot find a solution. A doctor had already said to me that I was creating my own issues. However, he was medicating me 4 times a day. I was taking medicine morning, midday, mid-afternoon, evening, and that was causing a domino effect. I was taking all those medications, which were not doing anything, but by the time I would fall asleep, I would never know at what time I was gonna get up. That was the side effect that was doing. I would sleep like a rock. I'm telling you, a tornado would fall on my house and I would not wake up. So what was the issue? That was causing stress and issue with my husband, because I would go to work when I would wake up. So I would be always rushing with like a chicken without a head, because I had no control over that. So I said, I had it. I cannot continue living like this. I refuse to drink more medication. I just had it. So I came home and I said, this is it. I'm taking over my health. I'm switching this off. I'm signing up for this challenge group. I'm getting into my biofitness. I'm just decluttering my kitchen. And I grabbed a notebook and a pen and I said, everything that goes into my mouth, I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna make sure that I'm aware, that I'm intentional about what I'm eating, what I'm drinking, what I'm consuming, because I'm gonna find the core of my issues. So I signed up for a challenge group, and I had already bought P90X, and I decided to get in Asylum. I got Asylum, and as I was signing up with Asylum, I remember coming across this coaching thing, and I said, you know what? I know I need accountability, which is perfect with the challenge group, but I'm gonna take it to another level. I'm gonna put myself at a different level of accountability. So I'm gonna sign up as a coach, because that title is gonna make me change. It's gonna bring the change that I'm looking for. It's gonna make me determined. It's gonna make me driven. It's gonna push me to be the person that I need to become. So I signed up as a coach, and also because I would get a discount on Shakeology, which I was wanting to try because I was already having a lab in my home. Remember, I was going through all those rashes and issues, and I was really building a lab at home. I was buying all these products and antioxidants and superfoods, and I was mixing them every morning, and oh my God, they tasted awful. They were the nastiest thing that I would ever drink. But I need a change, and I would mix everything up in the morning, and I remember going like this and drinking everything, like chugging it down, even if I wanted to throw up. So when I saw Shakeology, that it had all those ingredients that I was already buying on the side, I said, you know what? I'm gonna try this. I need to do things that I had never done in order to achieve what I had never achieved. So I said, that's a given. If I get a discount, sign me up. So I didn't even tell her or ask her or anything about what was coaching, what did it entitle, nothing. I just signed up, boom, and I show up. I remember that was June 1st when the challenge group started. On June 27 was my birthday, and my husband was taking me to Vegas for the first time. And I said, fine, we're going. I'm committed into what I'm doing, and I'm gonna continue to commit to what I'm doing. So I, once again got into my notepad, and I figured what my day was like here at home, and I figured that plan to take it on the go. So even if I was on vacation, I was still committed to my habits at home, okay? So that's how I started, and I turned my health around. I was able to get rid of my medications. I got rid of all my rashes. To top it off, I got rid of like 10, 15 pounds. I transformed my body, amazingly, like I had never done, even when I was going to the gym, and I was even younger than what I am today. And that's how my journey as a coach started. That inspired me, and that fulfilled me. That's when I found what I was looking for. That's when I found a different drive in my life, and I committed. And every morning I would be thinking about my challenge group, and about meeting up with the people in the challenge group, and about sharing my haha moments. And I started sharing that with my friends, and some of my friends wanted me to help them. So that's how I started helping people in the background, hosting my own little challenge group. Same thing that I have learned, I share it with them, and that started driving me, and curiosity started. I got curious about that level that I see other coaches achieving. They were building communities, they were having mentors, they were achieving goals, they were achieving milestones in their life, in their businesses, and I wanted to be part of that. I wanted to belong into that. I didn't have friends. My friend was only my husband. Remember, here we are working 12 plus hours. I wanted a community. I wanted to belong to something. Even when I was young, I never had friends. I was always working in order to make it through college, and in order to achieve my goals and everything. So I was lacking friendship, I was lacking community, and that's what I wanted, and I was looking for it. And I found, by being a coach, I started mingling with other people, and men and women that were professional just like me, and they were able to walk away from their careers to do coaching for their own career as a new career for themselves and their families. And I got curious, and that's when I started digging in and learning more and applying the training. And I went from getting a discount to doing it as a hobby to getting serious about it, and then deciding to build my own team and my own business. And as you see me going into social media and sharing my story, because I discovered that I was hiding from my past. I thought I was ashamed I thought I was to blame for my past, for the things that I had gone through. And I discovered that my business was my story. And that's when I started sharing that in social media, and that's when I started connecting to people just like me, that they wanted more, they were driven, they wanted more for themselves, just the same way that I have been wanting more for myself ever since I was a little girl. So that's how this whole coaching thing started, and how I had turned my fitness into my business, into this wonderful journey, and share my story in social media. And let me just check my notes, because I'm very passionate. I can talk forever, and I don't want to make it a story that is forever. Remember, I'm cutting it in little chunks. So basically, that's how I landed into this coaching thing and into the challenge group, and how I found my voice in social media, and how I decided to just be who I am, share my story, be my own brand, and finding people that resonate with me and want to do the same thing for other people on their side. It's like branching out, because there's so much that I can reach from where I am. And that's when the team comes and they all join forces, and they find their own voices, and they share their own story with the world. So let me see if I haven't lost anything. That's basically how I started and landed here. And 4 or 5 years after, this is who I am. This is what I call intentional living with Carmen, and how I have earned a voice on a noisy world, how I had differentiate myself from everyone else. And I get a lot of hesitations, a lot of fears about doing the business, and it's understandable. There's a lot of fear, but I think the main reason why a lot of people have fear is the fact that we are too concerned about what other people are going to think or say or do or react. And it's understandable, I guess, because I'm already in my 40s. I really don't care what people think, but also because I had lived in my own bubble, so I had never really cared about what other people say or think about me, because at the end of the day, they don't feed me, they don't pay my bills, they don't know my struggles, they don't know my aha moments, they don't live in my house. So in reality, they can only comment or react to the perception that they have of me, of ourselves. And at the same time, it's really a rear view mirror of their own reality. So I understand about fears, but fears is something that we always have. Just overcome it. Just like even before I press play here, I had fear to hop online and my heart was beating, but guess what? I got over it. Because if I want to be to grow a business, to touch somebody today that will resonate with what I'm saying, these are the things that I need to do in order to inspire and to touch somebody else that maybe has been on the fence for a year or for more years, that have been watching my journey, has been wanting and thinking and wondering if this is a good fit for them. So that's why I'm here, guys. So that's all that I want to share with you guys tonight. Like I said, my call of action for you today is to go in the comments, leave me questions, tell me what is it that you're curious to know, if I haven't covered, if you have questions about what I have shared with you today, and tell me where you're from, how we connected, and what sparked your interest into coaching. I'll see you tomorrow, same time, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And as always, my message to the world, never stop empowering your life. God bless you. Have a great night. Ciao.